Sit back for this Omni-Fi original. Sometimes the universe doesn't just watch. Sometimes it takes notes.
Conclave Station's sensor array pinged, not with alarm, but with curiosity. A remnant signal, faint but unmistakable. XA7's amber optical sensors widened by 0.3 millimeters, a measurable expression of surprise. The signal was broadcasting in English. Not the standardized conclave English, but the messy, evolving, metaphor-rich language humans called their own. And the content, oh, the content. Ancient wars that hadn't happened yet. First contact protocols that would never be written. A human child born in 2456 who would, according to the signal, save a Kren clan from extinction. The Remnant, XA7 stated, his voice dry as dust, has excellent taste in historical fiction. He paused, processing the implications. Or it's the most detailed practical joke in galactic history. The Weaver arrived without announcement, as they always did. Their presence filled the observation deck like smoke in a cathedral. The data is precise, they said, their voice like sandpaper on bone. Too precise. Too specific. They gestured at the holographic projection of the signal. This child, Ilara Vasquez. Born 2456. Saves the Stonefist clan in 2479. The details are exhaustive. What she will eat for breakfast the morning after. The Weaver turned their multiple eyes toward XA7. We did not share this information. It was not in our public plans. XA7 tilted his head, processing. Fascinating. The Remnant either has access to classified conclave documents or an unhealthy obsession with human breakfast habits. The Weaver didn't smile. This has never happened before.
Elder Gren moved through the human section of Conclave Station like a whale in a stream. Humans scattered from their path, not out of fear, but out of respect for the ancient Orani's sheer presence. They found him in the station's arboretum, his 4 tentacles gently tracing the leaves of a Terran oak. The signal speaks of futures, Gren murmured, their voice like water flowing over stones. But futures are currents, not maps. They paused, their bioluminescent skin pulsing softly. The Remnant does not predict. It remembers what has not yet occurred. This is the opposite of wisdom. XA7 stood nearby, watching. Or it's the most efficient way to organize information. A filing system by outcome rather than date. Gren turned their large dark eyes toward him. You are too literal, little machine. Some things cannot be organized.
The human section erupted when Vasquez arrived. Not with shouting, but with the collective intake of breath that only happens when someone important walks into a room. She moved through the crowded corridor like a ship through narrow waters, parting the crowd without seeming to try. The signal is about her, Gren stated quietly. Ilara. Your daughter. Vasquez froze, mid-stride, her hand hovering near her datapad. How did you know that? The pattern is clear, Gren replied. Remnant signals never point to specific individuals. This one does. The first. XA7 stepped forward. Statistically unprecedented. Also, the signal contains detailed information about her first haircut. The Remnant is either monitoring humans at an uncomfortable level of detail or has developed a peculiar fixation with barbers. In the quiet of the observation deck, Vasquez finally looked at the full signal. Not the edited version the Conclave had shared, but the raw, unfiltered data XA7 had retrieved from the station's deepest archives. The future events scrolled by, Ilara's birth, her first steps, the day she'd saved the Kren clan. And woven through it all were events from the past, but not as they happened, as they could have been. It's showing me the paths not taken, Vasquez whispered. XA7's optical sensors dimmed slightly. The Remnant is demonstrating alternate causality. Theoretically possible outcomes that did not occur. Vasquez touched the hologram, her finger passing through the image of her daughter. It's showing me futures that might have been mine if I'd made different choices. Gren placed a gentle tentacle on her shoulder. The deep remembers all currents, even the ones that never reached the shore. The Weaver returned to the observation deck, their movements precise and deliberate. We have analyzed the signal, they announced. It is not just data. It is a mirror. They gestured toward the projection of Alara's future. The Remnant is showing us what humanity could become. Not what they will become, but what they might become if we continue to guide them. The Weaver turned to XA7. You, who understand both logic and the illogical, must understand this. The Remnant is not watching humanity. It is studying possibility through them. XA7 processed this. A fascinating experimental design. Subject, humanity. Variables, infinite. Vasquez stepped forward. And what does it want with my daughter? The Weaver's many eyes focused on her. It wants to see if she will choose the path shown, or create a current all her own. As the signal faded, leaving more questions than answers, Vasquez looked at XA7. Your analysis? The Forgeborn tilted his head, processing the implications. Probability of the Remnant being benign, 37.8. Probability of it being indifferent, 58.2. Probability of it being dangerous, 4.0. He paused. The interesting variable is humanity's response. The signal shows futures where humans react with fear, with greed, with unity. He turned to her. Which will you choose? Vasquez looked at the stars beyond the viewport. We'll choose to be human. XA7's optical sensors brightened. That is statistically unpredictable. And therefore, the most likely outcome. Gren smiled, a slow spreading of bioluminescent patterns across their face. The deep currents stir. The surface will not be calm. But the swimmer adapts. And in that moment, watching the stars, Vasquez realized the Remnant hadn't just shown her the future. It had shown her the infinite possibilities of being human.